All right, welcome to the One with Trouble to Experience Radio Show. We're doing a special edition interview conversation with one of our biggest supporters. She is an author. She is a founder and creator of the Arts and Offers Extravaganza, who will be going to the 11th year in August. That I participated in this past year for the 10th anniversary. It was a great experience. So we had to welcome Miss Kimberly Ross Hollingsworth, and we met. I think before she took over this, I think at Men's Warehouse. I think I was there for something. I don't know what it was for, but I know we first met there. Now she's doing this now. She has her own podcast, Arts and Offers Talk, that was on last month. And now she's doing an interview for this Woman's Strong to Experience radio show. So Miss Kimberly, how are you doing today?
I'm good, and yourself? Thank
I'm
you for
do-
having me.
yes, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You definitely lifted my spirits before we came on. So I definitely appreciate that. So for those of the audience who may not know you, who is Miss Kimberly Ross Hollingsworth?
Well, my name is Kim Ross Hollingsworth, and I am a mother first. I have three beautiful daughters, um, two grown daughters, and one that's getting ready to graduate high school. And I have five grandkids and a handsome husband. And I am a 11 times author. And I also host the Arts and Authors Extravaganza and Book Builders Academy. And we teach new and current authors how to write, publish, and market their books. But that's everything in a nutshell.
Yes, you just threw that in a nutshell. So that's everything you did. That's awesome. So my next question is, who was you? Who was Kimberly growing up?
Well, Kimberly growing up was a shy girl. Um, I like to stay by myself most of the time. I am a reader, so I read. I read books like constantly. Uh, my mom, she always teased me till this day how she used to come home from work, and she'd find me in bed with my glasses still on and my book open, laying on my chest with a little flashlight because I would have my flashlight. So I was that girl that got taken away and caught in my books. I just, stories just drove me. And I never thought that almost 30, 40 years down the line that I would be an author. I would actually be writing books. Never in a million years would have thought that would happen.
Yeah, speaking of writing a book, so do you remember your first book that you wrote, and why did you write that book, the first book?
Yes, the very first book was the book that started all this off. Um, I was married three times before the age of 40, and I just felt I had a story. Excuse me. And my first husband, he actually came out the closet. My second husband was abusive, and we basically, he was a criminal, and it was a toxic relationship. And I'm with my third husband now, and we've been together for 20 years and married for 15.
Mm,
We just actually celebrated our 15-year anniversary.
wonderful.
So
Congratulations.
thank you. So
So,
that book started everything.
mm, so basically, what was your process like getting through the first marriage, the second marriage, and now the third marriage? What was your process of like of healing and letting go, and what you had to do to process that for so to let your current husband in, because you say you've been through a lot. There was a lot going on in the first two
Yes.
marriages. So what was the process you with dealing with the hurt of divorce and twice, and the healing comes from it, and we discover who you are, because when you got divorced first two times, a piece of you was lost. A piece of you was
Yes.
gone. A part of your life was gone. So what was your process like of dealing with that, transitioning from the first or second one now to the third one? What was that work like? I know that's a lot. There was a lot of things going on with that.
It really was. But the first marriage, well, was my high school sweetheart. I actually got pregnant when I was 19. I had her when I was 20. And then I had my second child when I was 21. And he decided he wanted to come out of the closet. So this was 5 years into our relationship and or marriage. And, I thought something was wrong with me, but this was before I actually found out the reason why he didn't want to be with me. And then, his mom wound up telling me that he was gay. So, I knew I couldn't compete with another man. So I had to step aside and let that relationship go, even though this isn't what he wanted, but I knew I had to, go on with my life. So on a rebound, I would say like maybe 5 to 6 months later, I met my second husband. Now it took us all the way up until 8 years before I actually married him. But from the door, it was a toxic relationship.
Mm.
He was almost 6 years older than me. And I don't know if I was looking, well, I know for a fact I was looking for love in all the wrong places. I knew that. I just thought that, he was more of a, even though he didn't really take care of me, because that's a whole nother story. And you got to read the book to really understand why he didn't really take care of me financially, but that older fatherly figure was, I guess, what I was looking for, because my father wasn't in my life.
Mm.
So it's really deep. But then when that relationship ended, I wind up giving myself a 2-year break. Because mind you, I was married since I was 19 years old, with only like maybe, even though I wasn't married to my second husband for 8 years, it felt like it because I was in a relationship for 8 years. And then we finally got married. And then not even 2 years later, we wound up splitting up. So from 19 all the way up until 30, I was basically married. So I decided to give myself a break. I was like, I need to find myself. I didn't know my likes. I didn't know my dislikes. I didn't know anything. And excuse me, I'm sitting here choking. So, even though I wasn't looking for another husband per se, I just, was taking that time just to learn myself. And then that's when 2 years down the line, I wind up meeting my third husband, and we're still together till this day.
So, how does your new husband deal with your story, what you endured, and how did he adjust to that? Because I know that's a particular spot he coming in.
Yes.
How did he adjust to that? How did he receive you in terms of your story, what you experienced? At the time you met your husband, were you in a space that you knew yourself now? You say at the time, 2021, you didn't know who you were, you didn't like, dislike.
Yes.
So by the time you met your first husband, you know a better sense of who Kimberly was?
I sure did. I knew exactly what I wanted in a man, especially because of the fact that, I had 2 experiences that, I knew I didn't want to repeat.
Right.
So sometimes when you're like, once you know yourself and once you experience certain things, the correct questions to ask. The you just know what you're able to tolerate and what you're not going to tolerate.
Right.
So it's really a learning experience, and it's really a good thing for people to at least take some time out. If you know that you keep repeating the same patterns over and over again, and I can't fully put the blame on someone else, I have to take accountability for myself, and I knew that I didn't allow myself enough time to know who I was before I kept getting into these, relationships. So, when I met my third husband, we talked a long time before we even, you know, connected, like even, as far as getting married, and I just, was asking the right questions. I told him about my situation. I had two daughters in the process, that was with me. And, he took on the role of, taking care of my girls with me. So it's like, once you get, you just know when that's the person. And I know for a fact that the first two I chose, the last one, God chose him for me,
Amen.
because
Amen.
he would not still be here, and he wouldn't have taken on the role of father if it wasn't meant for him to do so.
Amen. Amen. You say to God, sometimes you said something. You the first two times you say you picked the men, but now
Yep,
the third time, like you chose God. You know what I mean? God made it
that's
work
right.
for over 20 years now. So like, that's a blessing in
Amen.
itself, and that he stepped up. He stepped up to be a father, male figure for your girls. I think that's a blessing. You know what I mean? That's a
Yes.
huge step. You know then that he was the one for you. You know
And
he
I
filled
know
in.
that, yes, and I do know that for a fact, because he lets me be me. He supports me with whatever I need to do or have done. It's like he's a great support system for me. And we work as a team more so than, fighting against each other, and you can tell when there's a difference.
Right. Amen. Exactly.
You
So
can
what
really tell.
So you said you wrote the first book based on your marriage story. So what made you to continue to write books?
Well, that first book, instead of me having a book launch on my own, I decided to uh, have a book launch that included local authors and
Mm,
artists. And that book launch, I don't like ordinary, and I love thinking outside the box when it comes to doing different things. So I decided to have an extravaganza. So I included poets, spoken word artists, performers, including the book signing, the live book signing, the live art show. So I had that one. I believe that one was in 2011. 2012 was when I, began having them at the mansion in Voorhees. So from then on, it was local. Now it's global, and we're celebrating our 11th year at the Crown Plaza in Cherry Hill. So we've been, that one book that I did wind up having the extravaganza. It's an anniversary for the book every year. So, and then I was just writing books in between. So one book led to the other and to the other. But the extravaganza is my baby.
Well, so pretty much your extravaganza was your book launch of your first book that you had kept going for the past 10 years. So what what so you say you like to do things outside the box. So
Yeah.
back at that time, well, 10 years ago, like it wasn't things like your platform, Arbor's Cafe platform. So what kept you going to keep doing it every single year? Like the way you do it, like the artists and the different offers. And did you ever think about, hey, I'm doing this work for other people. Why can't I have a book signing to celebrate me? Because I'm like a lot of times we do the work for other people, get them platform and give them flowers, but yeah, I thought about, hey, doing book sign for me to give flowers back to me because I'm the one that created ideas, you know. So yeah, I thought about doing
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I thought about doing that. Because in the
Well,
day, oh,
I'm just saying, in the beginning, I was that type of person, just like I said before, that didn't want the spotlight just to be on myself. Um, I don't know why it, and I don't know if it was like an insecurity or something like that, but I just always wanted to do things from the back end.
mm,
And uh, I just thought having a book signing and having everything on me was too much. I was like, I don't, do I really want all the, excuse me, my allergies are getting me. I didn't want all the attention to be just on me. So that's why I started the extravaganza.
okay.
Now, down the line, I wind up my 50th birthday party. I did have the spotlight on me. And the reason why I did that, and this was last year, was because of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
The pandemic opened my eyes up to a lot of things. I got to the point where if I'm afraid to do something, I need to do it afraid.
Mm-hmm.
So I started, it's about me now. And it took me this long, and I would say like 50 years because I just celebrated my 50th birthday. I'm getting ready to hit my 51st birthday on the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm to the point where, okay, it's time that it's about me. Just
Mm-hmm.
like we talked about earlier about the magazine that we have coming, that I have. If I don't have anyone put me on the covers of their magazines, I have myself on the covers of my magazines. Um, I just feel like, we have to stop hiding.
Mm-hmm.
I have to stop saying that, you know, I can orchestrate a whole entire event from sitting behind a computer, never speaking to these people a day in my life until I get to the actual events. Okay, that's all well and dandy, it's all good, but okay, instead of hiring an MC, you need to get on that mic and you need to start taking control and start doing your own events. Why am I paying someone to say what I'm whispering in their ear? I felt really crazy this past year when I did that. It was like, that aha moment that happened. It's like, Kim, why are you whispering what you want this person to do when you're standing right here next to her? It just didn't make sense. But sometimes we have to have those aha moments. And I believe that was my wake-up call. So from here on out, I'm going to be my own MC for my own event.
Right. And I totally agree with you. I tell you, sometimes you gotta take control of your, like you said, do it afraid. You gotta do it afraid. Don't do it scared. There's other times like that's something I'm at now. When I do sleep, I gotta do something scared and afraid. And
That's right.
because I'm not gonna grow if I continue to go the same route I'm going. So and then
Exactly.
it's kind of like what your story is about Artist Cafe. I started because I had a lot of people don't know that I was an author. So when I had my book come out in 2012, about 2012, 2013, there was no book signing. I didn't know book signing. I didn't know no marketing and anything. I kept it really secret. And then 3 years later, God told me to, cause there was no platform at the time besides yours. I didn't know you back then. There was no platform where authors got together, talk about their books, about different audiences and outside their circle, to sell their books amongst each other. Like my first Artist Cafe wasn't at a church, but it's at my old church. So my church literally moved to another building, and my pastor let me use the old church building where we got moved to my visit there, first time doing it. And then I only had 3 offers at that time. I did it on Friday night, I did it in North Philly, and I did it scared. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to do, but the offers got something from that, and I kept it going. And now we at about to celebrate August Cafe 35. And with over 200 authors. So,
It's
that's
amazing.
and I had to adjust my time frame. I used to do it on Friday nights, and then I did Saturday noons, and during the pandemic, I had to do it virtually. That was something I didn't want to do, but I understood where people were, and it opened up more offers for me that didn't live PA that would participate. I was like, okay.
That's
Then
right.
once we got back to in person, and it was more valuable. Now it's like now I'm trying to go to another level now and trying to make it more impactful, more valuable. So we gotta do
Yeah,
things that are scared and make uncomfortable, but in the long run, it will be fruitful in the long run. So
I
now
agree.
you about some 11 years of arts offer at Gaza. Now, but from that, during that 10 years, you started a podcast with that.
Start the
So
podcast.
what was the method? What was the reason why you started the podcast?
Well, from the Arts and Authors Extravaganza, most of the time, like I said, when the vendors come out to the authors and artists come out to the event, I don't get a chance to go around to each one of them. I don't get a chance to meet each person. So the podcast is actually allowing me that time to get to know a lot more about them. So, I find out how they got started, where, why they got started, and what they're doing now. So it's really helping me to, like I said, find out so much more about them that I couldn't find out at the time of the event.
Mm.
So I love it. I actually love it.
And
I
it's
didn't think I would like it. And just like you said, I was afraid to do that. I
right.
was like, but I'm looking at Levon. I'm like, I said, Levon is doing a great job. I looked at Raymond. Raymond's doing a great job. And you all are in my circle. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe, just maybe I can do the same thing. And I have a reason to do it. It's not like, I don't meet these people for the first time at my event. I meet them, but I don't know about them. And I just figure having a podcast, I can find out more information about them.
Right, because it was kind of ironic when I did it last year. You had someone there doing the podcast. Well, there now this year you could do your own thing right there as well. So it's kind of ironic.
Yes,
That you had someone do the podcast with the offers before they got on stage, but now
yep,
this year you could do a podcast with the offers there at your event. So
I agree.
that'll be a win-win situation. So you won't have to find someone else. You can do it yourself. While
That's
they
right.
set up and sell their books, you give offers, 15 minutes or 20 minutes interview live at the event. So now
Yeah,
so that's a win-win for you. So based on what you saw, and plus it gives opportunity for them to get to know each other and know more about the depth, the backstory. Because a lot of times when
yes,
you present, you have a short amount of time, present about your book. But
exactly.
now, once you get one-on-one in a more intimate setting, they give you the backstory, the background of why they wrote the book, what for the process of this book, and what things they had to overcome to get to the book, the publishing, the marketing,
Yeah.
all that stuff, the back cover, all that stuff. So it's a lot to take in with that. So, do you always have a theme for your extravaganza, or just the event? There's no certain theme
It's
or
no theme because you have to realize I have, and before I started the Arts and Authors, I used to dress teen girls for prom. And then, once I started working for the Men's Warehouse, I started to include the boys too. So, because I was a former wear manager, so I included the boys so that they can get their tuxedos. And then I was providing dresses to the girls from the community. They would donate dresses and I would give them away to the girls, but we would have a fashion show luncheon. So I always had vendors, and I would have I would say 65 to 70 vendors every time. So that carried over into the arts and authors when I stopped, doing the Positively Dressed Foundation. So even now, I still have 65 to 70 authors and artists that come out to the event. So it is still a little bit more difficult to interview every single last one, especially when they have to go up on stage just to give their little speech on, you know, what they do and where they sit, so that people, if they're interested in, going around to their table, they can do so. So it is a lot harder. So I'm still glad I have the podcast so that I can go into detail and find out more information about them. Because it's a lot of work.
It does. So with that work, they have 11 years doing the office. That's right, God said. Have you developed a team that help you make it more
Sure did.
smoother? So what was that process of see, I know you did it by yourself, but what was the process of you covering a team and how to get roles, how to delegate for the offers for this event, the setup, and all those things that people may not see during the event that happens to make your event successful? How do you come up with a
Yeah.
team and find out what you wanted to make your event successful?
Well, in the beginning, I'm not going to lie. When you have that one man team, I was doing a lot of stuff on my own. And then I would have my family, like my husband, my children, my daughters, my mom, my sister. I would have my family help me. And then as time went on, I started getting different people that were asking me, did I need help? And I was that type of person who didn't want to ask for help. I just figured I don't know. And I can't say I hate rejection, because I mean I was a loan officer for 13 years. So, we got a lot of no's. But I just figured it was easier and to do it myself, and I know to get done the way that I wanted it done. So it was hard for me to, get a team at that time, but no one would have told me that I would be, doing the same thing 11 years now. So now I actually, have a team. I would get volunteers that help. And now this year is the first year that we're going to have paid volunteers. So I know for a fact things will get done the way that we need for them to get done. Because we're putting another spin on things. And then, like my husband was telling me, instead of hiring, an MC, I'm going to be MCing my own event. And then instead of hiring a keynote speaker, which I had in the past, he said that it will be wise for me, which I agree, to start paying for my help. Start putting the money into my team. And that way things wouldn't be so hard on me, and that's what I'm doing this year. So it does help to have a team. You can't do it all by yourself.
That's
I
right.
mean, for
Yeah.
a short amount of time you
Short
can,
amount of
but
time,
not.
yeah. But sometimes you have to elevate to make it better. So
Yes,
you have to have people on your team that know what you expect and what your expectation is, and that they can able to do it in the way that they best see fit, and not the way you want to do it, but the best way to make it see fit that
I
can make it
agree.
better for yourself. So I think I totally agree with you on that one.
Yep.
My next, so what's the date for what's the date for it? The
It's
arts.
August 21st.
Hmm.
It's at the Crown Plaza. This will be our third year, actually, excuse me, our fourth year at the Crown Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. It's on a Sunday. So Sunday, August 21st from 3 to 9 p.m. We actually are going to be in the same room, the River Winds ballroom. And we have a live band. Our live band is still coming back. Normal Chaos. They've been with us for several years,
Mhm.
and we're going to have about 65 to 70 vendors once again.
Ooh.
These are authors and artists, and I appreciate you for coming last year, because last year we were not expecting to have the turnout that we did because of the pandemic.
Right, right.
Um, and then the year before that, we actually was virtual.
Virtual.
So
How'd you pull
it's
that
just,
off? No, because it's
how do
virtual,
we
because
pull
I know
that off?
last year had the vendors, but how you were able to pull that off virtually with, I know
We
people like, I know
we
a lot of
actually pulled that off by having a great team. I'm trying to see here. This was our actual extravaganza that we had virtually. And we had a team that actually helped me get that together, because it was a learning experience trying to do everything online and then getting everyone to speak and so forth. But it wound up being really successful. I was proud of myself. And I was like, okay. But like I said, if you don't have a team, you can't make things happen. Alec Pangea, Andrew Bass, Kelly Chandlin DeVita, and she's going to kill me because I said her name wrong. Chandlin Kelly DeVita. And and still the help from my family. Without that help, you can't do anything. So it's going to be at the Crown Plaza once again. We're going to have the vendors, we're going to have the entertainers, the spoken word artists, the band, and I always take suggestions. So we're just going to make it a great time.
I definitely looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward that we're gonna collaborate for the youth one, because I think that
Yes, we are.
there's a need for the youth, and hopefully we can pull it off this year, or next year, because I think it's time for youth to have one, because so many young people are so searching for books that they can connect with. Because a lot of times they in school, they don't read books. It's not about them. They only see them in there. So if we get some young Black Latino authors of books that look like them, because a lot of kids don't like reading. Like if you ask them, okay, outside this books they read for school and for reading class, what books would you read at home? On Tuesday night. That's looks like them. They have stories just like them, and so I think it's time for just have our young people just have artists there, even visit, even like young people that can help rediscover the love of reading, and because a lot of times like you have youth, they love reading. Kindergarten, first week, it gets excited about reading. But 4th grade through 8th grade, I don't know what happened. It just falls off. Off. The love is gone because you got cell phones, vehicle system, social media going on, and the element of reading is not there anymore. And plus, or writing stories and writing about affirmations, write about your dreams and your aspirations, your goals. It's like it's not there anymore. So I would love to, like I said, we had a pre-stages of how this works, because I want our kids to fully benefit from this and get what they need and meet people that look like them, that wrote a book, and then that will inspire them. Maybe one day I can write a book too, because not all Black and brown people are music artists or athletes or doing drugs. Some of them out there being successful or writing authors or doctors, engineers. So you guys see something different every single day. You can't look on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok every day to get your influence. Unless you have people that's here, that's local in Philadelphia, doing sort of their things that they need exposure to. So that are doing things that are in their community, that maybe they're on the same block, maybe 10 minutes away from them. So I think like I said, I know about children's offers. I know offers too, so yeah, I know stuff for young women about self-love and accountability, mental health, and young men about forgiveness, about goals and journals, because we lost the element of writing journals, so it's a big issue in our community. A lot of kids, a lot of people are in pain, but it's trauma. They don't know how to express it, they don't know why it out, or they take out on wrong things, and have those thoughts like, okay, I want to harm myself, and then that's not a good look. So hopefully we can come up with a powerful thing for youth, artists, singers, dancers, speakers, for maybe next year. I know August is right around the corner, so or the fall or something where maybe we're in a break. I don't know. We're in a break. I don't know.
We're gonna figure it out.
A lot of kids are home. We're in a break, so a lot of kids are home. They need to do something. So,
and like I said, I think outside the box.
Yeah.
So when it comes to dealing with the youth, you have to really think about things that's going to keep their attention.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I know for a fact you and I can work out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I know we can do it because we can't have the ordinary extravaganza for them.
Why? Because the don't want yours. I'll be sitting there. They gotta be actively moving. They gotta be moving.
They have to be moving.
You're not gonna sit there for 5 hours.
Not at all.
You gotta be.
And I know we included like a little breakthrough, so like a little breakout section where we included like a little line dancing.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
just to get the blood moving and stuff like that, which I thought was really fun. I never would have thought that would work unless I saw that at it was the, and I forgot the name of the IBAX book event.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw it there, and that was with Renee. If I didn't see it there and saw that it works, I never would have thought that it would work at the extravaganza. But actually, people loved it. And I was like, okay, well, we need to do that again. It's just to loosen us up a little bit, get the blood flowing. And I thought that it was great. And it worked. So we are going to have that again.
Yes. Yeah. So outside all the extraordinary things you do for your family and your community and authors and artists, what does Kimberly do for self-care?
For self-care, I do a lot. People may think that I'm like totally busy like all the time, but I do a lot of self-care. I mean, I love baths. I love, walks in the park. That's why my allergies are starting up now. I love the walk. And just take care of myself. I get my hair done. I get my nails done. I always take care of me. Excuse me. But I still find time for my family. I still find time for my girls. Love my grandkids. My husband and I, we get our grandkids every other Friday night. I mean, I always have time, but it looks like I'm constantly busy. But now that, I freed up a lot of time with, when I quit my job, and I think that's what's making or allowing me to have more time to get the business done, plus concentrate on myself as well.
Wonderful. So where people can find you for more information about your podcast, your offers surrounding Gaza, also on your books, where people can find more information about you?
Okay, so what I did, because I do have a lot of, I have my LLC, I branded myself. So everything is under KimRossHollingsworth.com. And I have it to where there's links to go to the different areas of expertise. So for the podcast, for the magazine, for the extravaganza, So all that's under kimrosshollingsworth.com, even if you want to purchase books. And Book Builders Academy, because
Oh,
of
okay,
course
okay.
we
So
teach people
yeah, so
how to write their books under Book Builders Academy. So we teach you how to do journals, how to write your book. Oh, and I just collaborated with Hidden Legacy. So they're going to be doing our book publishing, for us. And, I like most people, they have more than one. So I do have more than one publishing agency, but I just hooked up with Penn Legacy as well.
wonderful, wonderful. That's you do also a lot. Is your Bookers Academy in session right now, where people can register, or are they start soon, or how's that? What's that process?
Actually, the way that the Book Builders Academy is set up is I put courses online and people can go to them at their leisure. So, and they could take as long as they want with the course or whatever. But all they have to do is go online to Book Builders Academy and choose what they want to do. So it's like, I put it on there once and it's just residual.
Oh wow, wonderful, wonderful, awesome. That's awesome. That's wonderful. So, so that's mostly for adults. Hopefully soon we can do one for youth.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So I'm much first. That has to be short, obviously, because 10 spans, but make it short, condensed, because 10 spans, make it engaging and fun, But my last question for you is, what advice would you tell your younger self?
Goodness, that's a question that my younger self. I've never thought about that. Advice? I guess, I would say, now you're really gonna make me have to think about that question because I really can't answer that. I really can't answer that. I just know the experiences that I've gone through, that I have no regrets. Everything that I have gone through, even though I didn't like what I went through at the time that I was going through it, I know that it had to happen the way that it did in order for me to get to where I am today. So I have no regrets. And even when I think about the failed marriages, I can't even look at them as, being all bad, because I got my two beautiful daughters, my older daughters from my first husband. My second husband, I learned a lot about, cars and just life in general. Even his criminal activity, I know what not to look for. I mean, what to look for now in certain situations. So I can't say that, I had regrets. I just know for a fact that I didn't have to go through as much as I've gone through if I just would have paid attention to red flags or listened to my mom, even, So that's my answer to that. I don't know what to say to my younger self, but I guess paying attention to the red flags.
Right, there we go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Because you gotta know the red flags, and also you gotta know the yellow flags too. But also pay attention to the green ones too. The green ones. Don't get the green ones too. The good ones. So the good flags too.
Yes,
so.
And just know, writing is very, very therapeutic. If I didn't write that first book, and I was writing that book even before I met my third husband, because I started writing a book for just the first two. And then, you know, just, and I think that was another way that I learned myself and knew my likes and my dislikes and what I wanted to tolerate because I was writing all that time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though I didn't finish the book, I was still writing it,
Right.
you know? So if there's anyone out there who are going through certain things or are, you know, facing mental challenges, you know, my advice to them is just start writing. You
Mm.
don't, it's not even that you have to put it anywhere or get it published or anything like that, but just getting it off your chest, you know, relieves anxiety, relieves depression. So I just advise people to just write, journal, just journal, and it'll take you places.
Yes, it definitely just write it down. Write it out. That's a great way to close it. Kimberly Ross Hollingsworth, it was a great honor and privilege to interview you, talk to you one on
Thank you.
one, more in depth. We got a
Likewise.
lot of work to do, you know. Thank you for those who are gonna watch this video. Thank you for tuning in for a special edition of Woman Strong to Experience Radio Show. We see you soon. I hope you stay blessed and stay great. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes.